Hello, HC receiving students and teachers. You may sit down. In our last lesson, if you could tell us about our last lesson, what did we go through? Could I have Gail to give us what we went through in our last lesson?
We learned about the atmosphere of the Earth.
We learned about the atmosphere of the Earth. How many layers of the atmosphere do the Earth have? Yes, Shane. Thank you.
There are three.
3 layers. Could you name them?
Troposphere, stratosphere, and ionosphere.
Right. Teachers, we are still on the same strand, which is Earth and beyond. Our sub-strand, space exploration, still on the same outcome, 8.4.2. Before we go into our new topic, we look at the atmosphere again. The atmosphere, the actual size of the atmosphere, as you see on the screen here, is the Earth. And the Earth is much bigger than the size of the atmosphere. The diameter of the Earth, or the diameter of the Earth measured from one end of the Earth to the other end, is greater than the atmosphere. So if we have a look at the actual size of the Earth, the atmosphere is a very thin layer around the Earth. So the Earth's radius, which is half of the diameter, is 6,370 kilometers, while the Earth's atmosphere is about 600 kilometers thick. So if we look at an Earth as 1 meter, a big meter of sphere, the atmosphere is about 1 millimeter thick around the Earth. So it is a very thin layer. Have a look at these pictures. Receiving students and teachers, I would like you to have a look at this first picture. There are 2 pictures. You may discuss with your friend, what is this first picture about? Our next picture okay, that is our second picture. Could we have Riku to tell us about the 2 pictures that we have seen? Receiving students, you may also tell your teacher what the 2 pictures about.
The first one was a river and trees around it. And the second one, a person skydiving.
Skydiving. Yes. Let's have one more from Junior. Junior will tell us about what he sees in the 2 pictures.
Same as Riku's.
How same? How same? What do you see in the first picture? And the second picture that is important to you? Junior, okay, we'll have Tulanga to help Junior with his answer.
The first picture is the river meeting the sea, and the second picture, a person skydiving in the air.
What are the important things that you can see in those pictures? What is the important thing that you can see in the pictures? Students, listen, students, I would like to tell your teacher what are the two important things that you see in the two pictures. We'll have Teresa.
Air. Air.
Anything else? Terence? Okay, good. Terence is going to give us one of the answers.
Gravity. Gravity.
Right, gravity is also involved in the picture. Okay. Our lesson today is air is life and water is life. Could I have your eyes here, please? Let's look at our friend here. Let's call him Johnny. And our pot plant here. Each group has a card, a blank card. Now there are some punched holes which I will give you some strings during your activity. On this blank cards, in your groups, I would like you and your friends, receiving students, you may also do the same, to write the relationship between you and this plant or any plant. But we have Johnny here, so but you and your friends. Receiving students, you could also do that with your teacher. If you have your models up there and your pot plants, you may do that with your teacher. You will have about 3 minutes to work on that. You have 1 minute to write that and we'll string it up. You write what you think or how you are related to the plant. What way? You'll use the rope, so you'll attach it to the plant. You don't need to draw the arrow. You can use, if you have many, then you can write one here and one there. If you have only one, you discuss, come up with one, write on one card only. But if you have more, there's extra card there. If you finish writing up, you string your cards and come to the front. and attach it to the plant and the human being. Let's see which group is finished. One on one end, one on the other. So let's see. Quick, our time is going. We already passed our time for the activity. 1 minute is up. The 3 minutes is up. Be tight. You are related to the plant, aren't you? Tight. Tight on one of the branches or somewhere there. This side? Others? Let's keep moving. Right, we have the first group up already. Which way? Tighten the leaf, or you want to make this short? It's okay, whichever way, as long as it's hanging. Just tie it somewhere there. Yeah. Don't kill the plant. Others, we have 2 now. Where's the 3 and 4 and 5? Oh, sorry, we broke his hand. Oh, we have 2 groups. Which group member? You yeah, just stay there. Yeah. You want to kill this fellow. Last one. One more group. Where's the other group? Bobby, you're breaking his hand. You can put it down here. Okay, you tie it. Okay, one end. You tie one end there on the other side. Oh, it's this way. Oh, you. Right. I see many of you have written down your relationships. We look at that after the lesson, but I know each of you or each group has written down a very good part they play with the plants between themselves and the plants. Right, we shall have a look at the questions that we need to do. Students, you may copy down these questions. 7 students. And answer those questions if you have to. The second question. Broken hand. We shall move into our next activity. And we have two setups. There are two setups. One in this front desk, two front desks here. We'll do the experiment. Your apparatus in there, we should have, we will be using a banner, a methylated spirit banner, a tripod stand, a gaze, a wire gaze. We have a empty glass jar that goes with a cardboard. And a tin with an aluminum tube attached to it. Receiving students and teachers, if you have brought yourself a kettle, you may use your kettle, but you can make your fire or use outside with an open fire, as we will be using a tin in the classroom. Okay. Could I have these groups? Make yourselves comfortable around this place. And this group 2 to move to the front to focus on this group carrying out the activity. Before you move, what is the most important thing, Harold? Oh, Harold. Raymond, please, pardon me. Thank you, Raymond. Since we are carrying out the experiment, what is the important thing?
Follow the instructions carefully.
Follow the instruction carefully. Yes, Karaut?
Safety.
Safety is most important. Since we'll be using fire, flame, I would like you to be careful. Do not play and do not push around your friends. Firstly, clear out everything on your table, your books. Make space for your experiment. So the group that is conducting the experiment, please clear out your table. Bobby, could I have you to come and get this, please? Water. A container of water, just one. Step 1. In the tin, since this tin is a big one, we'll be pouring just about not half, but less than a half, about 1/8 or 1/16, just about 20 mils of water in the tin. So that is your instruction number 1. Right, while it's boiling, may I have your attention? You have looked at your relationships. While it's boiling, may I have your attention? You have looked at the relationship of these two plants and a human being. And this experiment, in this experiment, you should try to figure out why or what is the purpose of us boiling this water. What do we want to see? We have done one first activity with plants and human beings, the relationship. But what about this experiment? Does it have anything to do with the plant and the human being? Raymond? What do you think, Raymond?
Yes.
Can you explain? What do you think? What is this experiment trying to tell us? Our relationship between plants and animals.
We need air to survive.
Okay, yes. Part of us will tell that there is air. Let's have Rachel to give us what she thinks about this experiment's relationship to us and the plants.
It tells us how oxygen works and there's air surrounding everywhere.
Yes, that's a good answer. Any others would like to expand on the answer? Students, you may also try to figure out what is the relationship of this experiment between you and the plants. William? See if the steams are coming out. Is it? No. Smoke. We have one group which is working, you may take note of that. One group has not worked. Once you have enough steam, then you can cover the top, put something heavy, an exercise book on it, or to stop the steam from escaping. It's okay, but I think the problem is the problem is one group has successfully done that. Just let it boil. Draw up your setup. Don't worry, it will take time. Are you having any exams? True. Honest. Really? What exam? Question number 1. Question number 1, receiving students. Can you relate this experiment in real life in order for the rain to fall, and how this process continues over and over again? So what we have just seen in the experiment is an example of a cycle that occurs in real life. You may copy that question down. Jot it down, and we shall look at it in our next lesson before the next lesson. Second question. The second question is different, is a bit different from the first activity question that you did. So you should have 2 diagrams. Alright, before we go on to our key phrase, could I have your attention for one moment? In your next lesson, each group should have this diagram. The first diagram with these words labeled on the diagram. So each group will have that. The second diagram is the one that you have on your screen. You will have two diagrams. The first diagram has only 4 words which you will label in your experiment. You draw up the experiment and you label correctly where you think these 4 words would be labeled. And the second one is the one that you copied down from the screen. So receiving students, you may do that with your teacher in your own after this lesson. And our key phrase for today is, let's have Junior give us the key phrase if we are quick enough.
Water cycle.
Yes, part of water cycle. So the same air is in life and water is life. Our next lesson will be on solar system. If you have any notes or pictures about solar system or planets or any information about those, you may bring along with it to your next lesson. The material that is required for your next lesson is charts, blank papers, felt pens or texture or markers, colors if you have colors, You may bring colors, like I mentioned, pictures or diagrams, bring them with you for your next lesson. Thank you, receiving students, 8C, and teachers for your participation.